airport is now closed following the explosions. At least one person at this stage has been reported dead and several have been injured. That's explosions at Brussels airport. One person reported dead and several have been injured. For more on this, let's bring in our correspondent, Asha Tanner. So, Asha, yet again, another terror attack. But let's just go through what we know so far from Brussels airport. One person killed and twin explosions heard this morning.
That's according to reports coming through, yes, and all flights have been suspended in and out of Brussels. You have a daily newspaper saying that there are several people injured. We don't know that exact number. Now, just to put this all into context, Brussels has been on heightened alert. This is following the Paris attacks, and that's due to one man who they have now managed to arrest, and that's Abd al-Salam. Now, you'll remember him as being described as one of the ringleaders of the Paris attacks that took place in November, all those different terrorist attacks that happened. Now, his fingerprints were found in a neighbourhood called Forest, and he was later arrested on Friday of last week in the district of Molenbeek, and this was an area known to police and has a number of ties with terrorism. Abd al-Salam was the man who had the explosive vest that was dumped. He was meant to detonate it outside of the Stade de France, but of course that did not happen. He is a 26-year-old French national who was born in Brussels and was wounded and arrested during that raid in Molenbeek on the 18th of March. And police have since charged him with terrorism offences. Now, of course, France has also been on a heightened terror alert as well because they are still searching for suspects. But of course, what we know this morning is that Brussels has been rocked by two explosions at their main airport. As I said, at least one person has been reported dead. Several others are injured. All flights have been suspended.
Now, as we continue to look at the latest pictures coming out of Brussels, there have been quite dramatic scenes that we've been witnessing this morning. Images of the aftermath of the explosion and of people being ferried through the terminal area. As you can imagine, it's a very busy airport, an international hub airport where people are transiting in. These are the latest pictures of the immediate aftermath of the explosion. You can see smoke rising there from the terminal building and people continuing to flee for their lives. Now, as I said, Brussels Airport is a very busy hub airport with hundreds of thousands of people going in and out of that airport every day. This happened at 8:50 in the morning when, as you can imagine, the airport was very busy. At this moment, we don't know exactly how many people have been injured, but reports are confirming that one person has died and several have been wounded. Okay, Brussels Airport, as we said, have now told people to evacuate the airport. There is an official tweet that Brussels Airport have released. It says there have been two explosions at the airport. The building is being evacuated. Don't come to the airport area. So warning people to stay away, of course, because we don't know the level of threat that may continue at that location. Let's just bring Asha back in now. And of course, there have been a number of terror alerts in Brussels and in Belgium over the past 12 months. The area of Molenbeek, where Abd al-Salam was arrested on Friday night, has been seen as quite a hub of terrorism. Let's just go through some of the things that Brussels and Belgium itself has had to face in terms of the Islamic State, if they're the ones to blame. Of course, at this stage, we don't know who is behind this.
Of course.
But it's an educated guess to think it may well be them, since Belgium have the highest number of people fighting for Islamic State at the moment. Let's just go through some of the things we know. So this isn't the only attack in Brussels in the last 12 months, is it?
No, and as you mentioned, no one has yet claimed responsibility for this explosion, which has injured several people and left at least one person dead. There was an incident at the Jewish Museum, and that was in May 2014, where a Frenchman from just over the border is accused of murdering 4 people. Then, of course, there was Paris attacks in January 2015, and this was when Brussels, it was thought that the gunman had gone into Brussels to buy rocket launchers. Following another attack in January 2015, this was in an eastern Belgian town, and then a train attack August 21st, 2015, again, with links to that area, as you mentioned, Molenbeek, which is seen as an area that police haven't managed to penetrate fully to try and find out what exactly is happening there. Abd al-Salam was the supposed ringleader of the Paris attacks. He was arrested on Friday. He's believed to have rented that VW Polo car, which was later found near the Bataclan Concert Hall, one of the areas that was targeted in the Paris attacks, where 89 people were killed. Now, he is a French national, 26-year-old, but he was born in Brussels, of Algerian descent. He was wounded and arrested during a police raid in Molenbeek on the 18th of March, and he's now been charged with terrorism offences. His explosive vest is thought to have been dumped when he bailed on detonating it, and he was supposed to have been one of the other suicide bombers to have carried out the attacks. He is now being caught. No doubt the police will be trying to interrogate him to try and find out a bit more about those different terror cells, which have been so easy to penetrate, not just Brussels, but also Paris. Europe has very lax border controls in terms of being able to cross in and out. And this is something that has worried officials and worried security, which is why they are now trying to have this joined up thinking in terms of sharing intelligence and carrying out joint raids. And that raid on Friday was carried out with the help of French police and security forces, as well as the Belgian security forces. We don't know who carried out this latest attack at the airport, but of course more will probably unfold, Kamali, as the morning continues.